Hi, I'm Walter Peters from FX Jake, and this is a picture of me. I'm a psychologist by training, but today I just trade Forex for a living. I think that most of the traders I know are really attracted to trading for a living because they want to have that freedom in their lives. Freedom to go wherever they want, do whatever they want, and freedom to have time with those people that they really care about, or doing those things that are really fun for them. Really, for most people that I know, trading the attraction to trading is the freedom involved in the lifestyle. Here's another picture of me, and I live in Australia. Even though I don't sound like I'm Australian, that's because I'm not. I'm from the United States, but I live in Australia because I love the Australian lifestyle. This is the beach I'm from in the United States, in California, and it was a nice place, but I'm much happier where I am now, and I really enjoy spending time at the beach, surfing, going outside, things that you can do when you have a lot of time. And really, for me, that's what trading is all about. It's about having the time available to do other things in your life that's fun for you or important to you. Now, what I'm going to talk about next is how I trade. I trade using naked charts or no indicators on my chart. I trade using just lines on the chart, like those lines you see right here. These are what I consider to be support and resistance zones on the chart. These are those spots on the chart where price has repeatedly approached that zone and then fallen away from that zone, or approached that zone and found support. So let's talk a little bit about that right now. What is support and what is resistance, and what is a support and resistance zone? I'm going to open up a new chart here. Let's do the pound. And we'll do the pound 4-hour chart. I'm just going to stick my template on here so it's a little bit easier to see. These are black and white candles, so a black candle is a down candle, and each candle takes 4 hours. And this is the pound against the US dollar. So if I were to trade this pound US dollar chart, this 4-hour chart, I would first move to the daily chart, and then I would draw my zones in there. I'm going to make these zones red so that I know that they are from the daily chart. And you'll see when I draw some more zones in from another chart, from the 4-hour chart, I will change the color of those so that I know where these zones came from, which time frame they came from. And I'm basically just looking for those places on the chart where we see both support and resistance. For example, right here, on this zone right here, you can see several 4-hour bars found support right here at 1.5670, right there. And then later, we see some bars right here, oops, found resistance right there. So the bars came up here. This bar almost touched that zone, and so did that bar right there. Came really close. And that's what we tend to see over and over again. When we look at these zones on the chart, we see those areas where support and resistance has been found over and over again. Now, the only time that I'll draw a zone on the chart where I don't see both support and resistance is at those extreme lows or extreme highs, like this level down here. Although if I go back, I probably will see that level was touched in the past. And that's because the charts have a memory. The charts remember. Here's a great example of a zone right here. See where these bars found support and then these bars found resistance. Same thing right here. See these right here. These bars found support, and then later these bars found resistance. See? And that's how I set up my charts. It's pretty simple, really. Now in the next video, I'm going to show you how I trade off of these zones. Right now I'm just getting my chart set up. And I'll move down to the 4-hour chart now and I'll draw some more zones. You'll see what I'm basically doing is looking for those same spots on the chart where prices found both support and resistance. And I'm going to color these blue so that I know that these are from the 4-hour chart. The only reason I do that is just so I remind myself that the daily zones are slightly more important because they're on a higher time frame. And the 4-hour zones, while they're certainly important and I'll certainly take trades on those zones, they're just slightly less important. And that's the only real reason I do that. Okay. And then there. Excellent. There's another one there. All right. There's probably going to be one somewhere in here. Let's see if we can find one. Possibly, yeah, right around there it looks like. So there you go. Now I have all my zones on my chart, and I'm basically going to wait for price to approach one of these zones. Now I won't always take a trade once price approaches one of these zones. In other words, I'm not always going to assume the price will reverse when it hits a support and resistance zone. But instead I wait for particular signals. So I'm looking for catalysts. I'm looking for price patterns when the market approaches these support and resistance zones. And in the next video I'm going to show you precisely how I use these price patterns when they print on these support and resistance zones. I'm only looking to take trades off of these support and resistance zones, and I'm not always going to take a trade every time price approaches one of these zones. But when price approaches one of these zones and prints a particular pattern that I found to be highly reliable in my testing, that's when I will take a trade. There's the picture of home. And there's me again. Now this is my website. It's fxjake.com. If you come to the FXJake website, you'll see that I have many trade ideas here on the blog. There are different ideas about trading psychology. There are webinars offered. There are trade ideas offered, things like that. So you can check that out on the blog. There are also free trading ebooks. There's trading systems. There's Forex signals for those that are interested in the subscription service. And there's also a program for those that are interested in learning more naked trading techniques. These are price action trading techniques. Very simple systems. There are also psychological exercises to help you with your emotions and help you with your trading psychology. In fact, there's a trading psychology test to help identify those types of systems that are most likely to work well with you in your outlook and how you view the markets. If you have any questions about anything, please feel free to email me. My email is walter@fxjake.com, and I look forward to sharing with you the very next video when we look at specific trading patterns that we can trade off of those support and resistance zones. Happy trading!